In 2026, history was made. For the first time ever, a human crossed the $1 trillion net worth mark, and that man was Elon Musk. Reports following SpaceX's IPO estimate his wealth crossed the 12-0 threshold, making him the first person to reach that milestone. But Elon Musk didn't build this fortune by following a normal life. While the world sees the headlines, the rockets, the billion-dollar companies, and the endless controversies, very few people know what his daily life actually looks like behind the scenes. How does one man manage Tesla, SpaceX, XAI, Neuralink, and X Corp all in the same 24 hours? Does he even sleep enough? What kind of routine does it take to become the richest person in human history? Today, we're breaking down the real lifestyle, daily timetable, work habits, and intense routine of Elon Musk, the man who turned impossible ideas into trillion-dollar reality. To understand the trillion-dollar routine of Elon Musk, you have to realize that his day isn't built for comfort, luxury, or happiness. It is engineered for raw output. It is a daily chaotic battle against time itself, divided into tiny 5-minute increments. Let's step inside 24 hours of the most intense, controversial, and high-stakes routine on the planet. The clock hits 7 a.m. For most high-performance executives, this is where the magic happens. Meditation, journaling, or a perfectly balanced green smoothie. Not here. Elon Musk wakes up after barely 6 hours of sleep, and his day starts with an immediate, violent plunge into digital warfare. He doesn't ease into the morning. Before his feet even touch the floor, he reaches for his phone. His lock screen is an absolute disaster zone. Hundreds of missed emails, critical engineering alerts from automated Tesla dashboards, text messages from global leaders, and thousands of notifications from his social media platform, X. He spends the first 30 minutes of his day right there in bed, conducting what he calls digital triage. He's not casually scrolling, he's scanning for fires. Which rocket engine test failed overnight? What is delaying the assembly line for the new Tesla Cybercab? Is the latest XAI training cluster running at peak efficiency? Now, what about breakfast? Fitness influencers love talking about the breakfast of champions. Musk's breakfast is usually a complete afterthought. In interviews, he's openly admitted that he treats his body like an engine that just needs fuel. Any fuel. If there's a random donut lying around the kitchen, he'll eat it. A pastry? Sure. More often than not, he skips breakfast entirely. But there is one morning ritual he refuses to compromise on, and it's not for health, it's for engineering: the hot shower. Musk has stated multiple times that his morning shower is the most foundational part of his day. Why? Because when you spend 24 hours a day processing data, your brain needs a brief moment of sensory deprivation to reset. It's during those 10 minutes under hot water that his mind wanders, connects dots, and uncovers solutions to problems that top aerospace engineers couldn't solve the day before. By 8 a.m., the shower is over. The clothes are simple, usually a plain black t-shirt and jeans. No time wasted on choosing outfits. The war room is waiting. Musk's entire calendar is chopped up into precise 5-minute intervals. Think about how radical that is. Most corporate meetings are scheduled for 30 minutes or an hour by default, regardless of how much substance there actually is. To a trillionaire, that is a cardinal sin. If a task only requires 4 minutes of your attention, it gets 5 minutes on the calendar and then you move on. This extreme scheduling method forces an unbelievable level of focus. When you only have 5 minutes to review a legal contract, a rocket telemetry report, or an AI algorithm, you cannot afford fluff. You cannot afford small talk. You have to cut straight to the core architecture of the problem. This brings us to his legendary brutal meeting philosophy. Musk has a set of strict rules for anyone working within his companies. First rule, no large meetings. He believes large meetings are a blight on big companies, where people perform corporate theater instead of getting things done. Second rule, if you are not actively contributing value to a meeting, you must leave. In any other company, walking out of a meeting with the CEO would get you fired. In Musk's world, staying in a meeting where you are silent is considered disrespectful because you are wasting your own time and the company's money. He has been known to stop a presentation mid-sentence, look at a manager and say, "You haven't said anything in 10 minutes. Why are you here?" It sounds cold, it sounds harsh, but to him, it's basic math. Time is the only non-renewable resource on Earth, and when you're trying to multitask across 5 industries, every second counts. To truly understand this routine, we have to look at how he splits his week. He doesn't spend an hour on Tesla, then an hour on SpaceX. That kind of context switching creates a mental drag. Instead, he chunks his weeks. Typically, he will spend several consecutive days entirely embedded at SpaceX in Boca Chica or Cape Canaveral, and then rotate to a massive block of days at a Tesla gigafactory, whether that's in Texas, California, or overseas. And when he arrives, he doesn't sit in a plush corner office on the top floor. In fact, he famously despises executive suites. He puts his desk right where the action is, sometimes directly at the end of the manufacturing assembly line. Why? Because of a cognitive framework he uses called first principles thinking. Instead of relying on analogies or what other companies have done in the past, Musk breaks a problem down to its most fundamental physical truths and builds up from there. If a machine on the assembly line is moving too slow, he doesn't want a PowerPoint deck from a vice president explaining why. He walks down to the factory floor, stands next to the technician operating the machine, and looks at the physics of the line himself. During the infamous production hell eras of Tesla, Musk didn't go home to a mansion at 5 p.m. He slept on the hard floor underneath the conference tables or on a cot in a glass office next to the assembly line. He wanted his engineers and factory workers to see that their leader was suffering right alongside them. Lunch during these intense factory blocks is barely a conscious event. It's usually a plate of food brought into an engineering meeting that he wolfs down in less than 5 minutes while staring at a blueprint, washing it down with a can of Diet Coke. It's not glamorous, it's not healthy, but it's real. As the sun sets and the rest of the corporate world winds down, Musk's day enters its second shift. This is where the lines between billionaire tech mogul and chaotic human being become completely blurred. By 8 p.m., formal business meetings usually begin to taper off, replaced by late-night dinner meetings. But these aren't relaxing social gatherings, they are highly intense strategy sessions disguised as dinner. He'll meet with top AI researchers for XAI, discussing neural network structures, or catch up on the latest human trial data for Neuralink. But what happens when he finally gets a moment to himself at midnight? This is the paradox of Elon Musk. You would think that a man carrying the weight of humanity's multi-planetary future would practice meticulous sleep hygiene. Blackout curtains, no screens before bed, meditation apps. Instead, Musk does the exact opposite. He stays awake until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or even 3 o'clock a.m. And how does the world's first trillionaire decompress? He sits in the dark, pulls out his phone, and fires up X. For hours, he logs into the global town square, posting memes, replying to random accounts, debating politics, and dropping major product announcements completely unfiltered. To his PR teams, it's a living nightmare. To him, it's a form of digital escapism. When he isn't on social media, he's often binging complex, high-stress video games late into the night. He's spoken about playing games like Elden Ring or Polytopia for hours at a time, using the deep tactical engagement of gaming to completely crowd out the heavy, real-world anxieties of his companies. His brain is wired to constantly solve complex systems. If it's not a rocket engine, it's a video game level. When we look at this entire routine from the outside, it begs a massive question. Is it worth it? Musk's lifestyle is an explicit rejection of the modern concept of work-life balance. He puts in 80 to 100 hours of work every single week, year after year. He has openly admitted that this lifestyle has taken a massive toll on his personal life, his relationships, and his physical health. He has spoken about chronic back pain, intense stress, and moments of profound personal isolation. He operates under the constant pressure that if he makes a major mistake, a rocket blows up, an autonomous driving system fails, or an AI model goes rogue. The stakes aren't just financial anymore, they are historic. This routine teaches us a powerful, somewhat uncomfortable lesson about extreme success. True greatness. Musk doesn't work this hard because he needs another dollar. He became a trillionaire as a byproduct of his obsession with solving existential problems. His wealth is just a scorecard for the scale of his risks. So, as his head finally hits the pillow around 3 a.m., getting a brief 3 or 4 hours of sleep before the cycle restarts, we are left to look at our own routines. We live in a world obsessed with optimization, comfort, and peace of mind. We look for shortcuts, hacks, and ways to do less while earning more. But the wealthiest man alive does the exact opposite. He chooses the friction. He chooses the fire. He chooses the 90-hour work week. It forces you to look in the mirror and ask yourself a very serious question. If you had to trade your comfort, your sleep, your sanity, and your peace of mind to build the future, would you do it? Or is $1 trillion simply too high a price to pay for a human life? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want more deep dives into the minds and routines of the people shaping our world, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.